Yes, my name is Kenza Lalou. I'm the Global Director of Business Development. I work for Archer. And I have to say I'm very honored and excited to be presenting today at the African Energy Week, together with my friend and colleague Aneta Mufo. She's our area sales manager in Africa. And we will be presenting what we called Pioneering Technology Delivering Better Wares. It is a presentation which includes some of our cutting-edge technologies which we deploy worldwide, and especially as well in Africa. So today, we would like in the session to present first, give you an introduction about Archer, about who we are, especially for those who are not familiar with what we do. Then we will dive into an overview of our ware services portfolio. And then from there, we will share some insights about our experience in Africa. And then we will wrap the presentation, wrap up with some of our key technology enablers. So who we are. Archer, we are a global energy service company with almost 5,000 people worldwide. We have 4 divisions. Platform operations with focused on drilling operations, engineering, maintenance on the rigs. Aneta and I work in the ware services division. So it is a division where we provide high-end products and services across the well life cycle, from well constructions and completions to well intervention and workover, to P&A and slot recovery, but also solutions for even CCUS and geothermal. And then we have the land drilling division with focus in Argentina, where we have many land rigs, pulling units, workover units. And of course, last but not least, the renewable division, providing solutions for geothermal, for district heating, electrical, wind power, hydropower, and so on. We are located in over 40 countries today. Our center of gravity is pretty much Norway, where our headquarters are. And outside of that center of gravity, we have pockets of operations in different locations, as you see in the map, from Europe, Africa, North and South America, but also in Asia and Australia. Then when it comes to ware services, we have a broad portfolio, as I mentioned, across the well life cycle. And that comes with different type of conveyance, from drill pipe to wireline, to also coiled tubing. And what we will do across this presentation is to cover some of these technologies. Of course, we don't have time to cover all of them, but we will especially highlight the ones where we have a lot of experience with, especially in the African continent. But yes, before that, I will let Aneta share more of insights about our African experience.
Thank you. So we've been operating in Africa and contributing in Africa for more than 15 years. Today we have one of the companies that we actually collaborate with in Angola, present Kaiso. So you see here that we have a wide range of services that we've provided, both within plug-and-plug solutions, well cleaning, cementing solutions, also linked to P&A and slot recovery. So maybe whereas here in the southern part of Africa, we see more into exploration, appraisal, drilling. In other areas, we've also been involved in P&A projects. So we've recently concluded a project in Mauritania where we used various P&A solutions and technologies. Wireline also. So if you look at the companies we've worked for, there's a wide range here from the major oil companies, such as Shell, Chevron, Eni, Total, also Equinor actually, to the smaller ones. When it comes to the oil tools part of our business, we have 4 big groups of product lines I would mention. So one is plug and plug solutions. I will not go into all of them, but I've chosen one technology from each of these product lines to go more in depth on. Plugs and plug solutions, well cleaning solutions, P&A and slot recovery solutions, and cementing tool solutions. If we look at the plugs and plug solutions, we have more than 6,000 plug installations globally without ever really leaving. We haven't left any of the plugs unintentionally in the wells so far. A number of these have also been installed on the African continent, more than 300. If we look at the BOP toner, which is can be involved in BOP cleaning, we have more than 500 runs globally, of which more than 15 in Africa, in Angola. Looking at the P&A and slot recovery, one of the technologies that I'll mention more in detail is the perf wash cement, which is highlighted here. We have more than 400 stronghold jobs globally, and actually close to 30 of these have been in Africa, both in Nigeria and in Mauritania. Cementing solutions, we have a number installed in Africa of the 600 ones we've installed globally. In Africa, they cover installations in Angola, which is the main country where we've installed C-Flexes in Africa, also in Egypt, in Congo, and hopefully we'll be able to spread out the gospel even further. Now, selecting one technology from each of the product lines, I wanted to speak a little bit more about the time lock retrievable suspension plugs. So these are V0 rated gas tight suspension plugs, bridge plugs that can be used as a barrier if you need to have a barrier installed in your wells. Some of these plugs, they have strong and high capacity for hanging weight beneath them, so we can actually use the plug as a spare. So imagine a scenario where you have to cut the casing and pull the casing to surface. You can first install that plug as a barrier while you cut your casing, and then you place that plug higher up in your casing and use it as a spare to pull the casing to surface. Now, one thing is the time lock, which is just a retrievable bridge plug. You run it on drill pipe and it's hanging at the bottom of your drill pipe. But we also have our volt plug. So that's similar to the time lock, but it's installed in your drill string. So it's like a dormant plug in your drill string, and you activate it by ball drop. You activate it when you need it to be activated. So that allows you actually to have a time lock installed at the bottom. Higher up in your drill string, you can install your volt plug, and it allows you to install 2 barrier plugs in the same run in the well. So you save significant amount of rig time then. The C-Flex, it's a stage cementing tool which is installed in your casing string. It allows you to have access to your annulus by opening the sleeve on the inside. So you perform your stage job without dropping any wiper plugs. You don't have anything that you have to drill out after your stage job, because you basically mechanically activate your C-Flex sleeve by the cementing tool. It's latched into the profile of your sleeve. It's run on drill pipe. You perform your cement job through your drill pipe, and the cement slurry will come out the orifices of the cementing tool into the annulus. So the cement slurry will not even come in contact with your casing. So you will have a clean casing at the end of this operation. You don't have issues that you have to scrape out or clean out your casing afterwards. After your cement job, you simply pull up the cementing tool to close your sleeve, and you disconnect from the sleeve and pull to surface. Now, the benefit of this is that at the end of this operation, you don't have anything that you have to drill out inside your casing. You have a slick, nice, clean casing on the inside after your second stage cement operation. So that was the C-Flex. The BOP Tornar, what you see three components. If we start from the bottom, the BOP Tornar creates a vacuum. So when you pump fluid, it creates a vortex on the inside of the tool, and it will tend to suck the debris from the BOP arms into the flow on the outside, where the debris is captured by the magnets that you see above here. So we have strong riser magnets to catch any kind of debris that's collected from this whole BOP cleaning process. And above there again, you have the riser magnet with riser brushes and a junk bucket. So what I can mention here was that one of our customers in Angola, they were interested in the tool, but they wanted to verify how well does this tool really work. So they first went with their traditional BOP jetting tool. And they had debris to surface. Then they went in with the BOP Tornar, and they actually collected 165 kilo of debris from the BOP in a single run. And that was after they had initially jetted the BOP with their traditional tools. So it shows it has a very high capacity. One of the pictures here is actually from one of the operations we had in Angola. The last one I would like to show you, it's linked to P&A operations. Now, when you have P&A operations, you need to create rock-to-rock barriers. It's part of the process is that you need to secure the well, you need to have a barrier in the well, and it's not sufficient to have a barrier just inside your casing. You need to be sure that you have a barrier that covers the whole rock-to-rock section, cross-section, from annulus through the casing, inside your casing, annulus again. One of the ways that I used, it's that we section mill. So you go in and you section mill away part of your casing in order to have access to that annulus, so you can actually place a cement plug across that section. Now, with the perforce cement system, what you see on the very right side here, you see TCP guns. So they are guns that perforate that whole section of casing that you need, where you need to place your barrier. It can be 30 meters, 60 meters more. So that gives you a whole perforated casing section. And then we go across with a cup tool across the whole perforated section, and we actually place cement slurry. We inject the cement slurry between the cups. It will come out between the cups. It will be injected into your annulus, and you will have cement slurry placed all up through the interval that you have perforated. So the benefit with that is that you don't need to section mill. You don't need to have that whole handling at surface of swarf with AJC issues, with handling issues at surface. And we have done a number of these in Africa already, most of them in Mauritania, where there have already been some significant P&A campaigns, but also this year in Nigeria for the first time. So I will hand the word over to Kenza again.
Thank you, Aneta. So I will talk a bit more about our wireline operations in Archer. So in wireline as well, we are a global provider of wireline services. We are known to be a market leader in the Norwegian continental shelf for providing mechanical wireline. We have some of the most advanced wireline units in the market, and we provide as well a range of case hole logging technologies. But in addition to that, we have some very unique and cutting edge wireline technologies, which I will share with you on the next slides. And one of them is the Vivid. So the Vivid is one of our flagship case hole logging tool in Archer. It is an acoustic tool with very high sensitivity. We believe today it is one of the most or the highest sensitive tool existing in the market. So what it does, it is designed to detect and locate flow or fluid movement behind the tubing and behind the casing or any downhole jewelry. And what's unique about it, because it can actually listen and has a very wide frequency range from very low frequency to very high frequency, it means that it can really locate all the downhole events with a very high precision. And we have very high, a lot of experience with this tool. We have today logged it in over 4,000 wells. We have also used it in many places in Africa. And it's been used for different applications. And one of them is actually to validate the cement bond or the cement integrity, especially, if you're suspecting any microanalysis or microchanneling. It is so sensitive that it can really detect that with high precision. It's also been used for production and injection profiling. And also one of the Vivid families is designed as well to detect downhole sand in the well. Another key technology in Archer is the SPACE technology. So SPACE is an ultrasound imaging tool. It's in a way you can see it as a very advanced downhole camera, except that it's really using the ultrasound technology. And it can be used for different applications. And one of them is, to inspect any downhole jewelry, especially when it comes to safety valves or side pocket mandrels. So it can see any restrictions you have in the well. And also it can, when it comes to corrosions in the well, it can measure inner diameter, outer diameter, and the thickness of the well. And I would like to share with you an example here from one of our clients. And what you see on the image on the right-hand side is actually the data we got from the SPACE tool. So I mentioned the precision. It's one of the strength of this tool. It can be the data is provided in 2D, but also in 3D as of this example. And here in this example, the challenge of the customer was actually they wanted to pull the safety valve to install a suspension plug, but they couldn't. And they didn't know why. So they tried to run an optical camera, and the data from that camera showed there was no challenges. Everything looked good. So then they have contacted Archer and mobilized the SPACE tool. And when they did, the data from SPACE revealed that actually the latching mechanism was in a different location, and the ID was much smaller than the expected ID of the safety valve. So then they were able to actually design a specific pulling tool for the safety valve, and they managed to pull it from the first attempt. And so that was a success. Sorry. So now, the SPACE tool is also a tool that was run a lot in Africa, but I would like as well mention one of very innovative conveyance system we have in Archer. And this is called the ComTrack. So the ComTrack is our carbon composite rod. As you see in the picture, it also has a monoconductor. It can be used for mechanical, but also electric E-line logging. And can also have the fiber optic inside the carbon rod. What's unique about the carbon rod composite, it's very strong, it's stiff, it's strong, and it's actually very slick and very smooth, and means that it has very low friction. So what is it used for? It can be used for very heavy BHAs, like perforation guns. It can actually, because it has very low friction and it's very strong, it enables our customer to reach depths that normally are not possible with wireline. So it can be seen in a way as a sort of a hybrid between wireline and coiled tubing, while keeping actually the minimal footprint of a wireline unit, and also the number of people, because with the Comtrack, we only need, for an offshore rig, 3 persons on a shift. This is an example of where we have deployed, or the applications where the Comtrack has been deployed. And one of them I mentioned, because it's strong, we can use it for heavy BHAs. So when it comes, we have an example where we were able to run perforation guns on 5 runs instead of 13 runs which were initially planned on a conventional cable. So we were able to actually save the customer 8 runs of perforations. The second one in the middle is for short laterals. So for short laterals, typically with wireline or conventional wireline, you would need, in most cases, to have tractors to reach the target depth you need. But then with Comtrack, we have many examples where we were able to do it without the tractor. And then, of course, the last one you see on this picture here, for long horizontals. And that's my favorite one, because there are so many wells today, and with today's challenges, we want to go deeper and deeper. And when it comes to long horizontal wells, the risk here is not only able to reach the target depth, but actually to come back to surface without breaking the wireline cable. But then Comtrack proved that the impossible was possible, and we have very good cases we are proud of that we have managed to achieve thanks to this technology. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention. And I guess Anita now will be happy to take any questions you may have for us.
Thank you so much, Kenza, and thank you so much, Anita. Do we have any questions for them? Any questions? Going once?
Yes, Kenza, thank you for very comprehensive technical presentation. Quick question on the contract. How many, job has been performed so far?
We'll have to check exactly the number of, we have a track record for all these jobs. I don't have the number out on top of my head, but I can find out that information for you. Today, we have actually run the Comtrack technology in many locations in the US, in the North Sea, but also in the Middle East, where they have all these extended reach wells, ERD wells. So that's so far the experience we have. Thank you.
Noah Paul from Angola. Those tools are, I don't know if Archer provide the service or you are just a manufacturer and you sell the tool. If that's the case, can anyone come and then buy the tool? If that's okay, can you tell us, in average, the cost?
Are you thinking about a specific
I'm really
technology?
That one, the Turner?
The Turner,
Yes.
I will let you answer.
Cleaning of the BOP.
So it's normally something that we provide as a rental tool. As far as I'm aware, so far it's not something that we have sold as a tool. But it's any case can be looked at.
Okay, thank you.